Oh, a restaurant I used to eat at every morning. Is the Italian restaurant I used to eat at. I used to work down this soy. There's my building, the brick one. And we're coming up to Cozy Beach. And I used to live down here in the executive residence. There's this funky five-way intersection. And the Hilton Garden and the Hyatt and the convention hall is all down here on this five-way intersection, but I would take a sharp left-hand turn and I would go down the street here where the row of cars are turning here left. There's a bunch of nice little beach restaurants, kind of more on the high-end expensive side, along with the chocolate factory and a few other touristy high-end hot spots. And so I used to live down in that area, but I'll tell you, I used to stay in on the weekends just because the traffic was so bad. There were so many Bangkok elites that would come down here on the weekends on Friday and Saturday, and this place used to be so jam-packed that I wouldn't want to leave the condo. But nice area. And then there's Buddha Hill right here, that road that's going up. There's a little temple up there, and the Royal Cliff Resort project is over there on the left, and that's where we would have our annual convention meetings and our annual semi-annual meetings when they were held here in Southeast Asia. It was geographically located in a good spot for everybody. And then as soon as my boss, direct boss, who liked this area so much, we ended up starting that office just down that other Pratanok Soi 4, and then I ended up buying a place in Cozy Beach, just because I wanted to be able to easily walk to work or go home for lunch, or even on the longer days where I had a break in the middle, I can go home, take a little nap, and charge up, and then go back to the office for the afternoon, evening shift. So that's kind of basically what I did. This place used to have a really good coffee cafe in here, but ever since the COVID situation, lots has changed. So I'm been basically told from my former co-workers and friends and colleagues is that pretty much everything that was once open is probably not open anymore, and so a lot has changed. So we'll have to just get used to new spots, which is perfectly fine. But I had looked at some units in this particular area that was kind of in between the two areas that I liked the most, but then decided that being close to work was much better, since I would have time zone constraints, and it was just easier to be able to run over to the office if I need to. And so I literally bought that last condo in the executive residence specifically so that way I can easily just go back home, or vice versa. Just because of there's some issues with Wi-Fi speeds and streaming and other things, and I wanted to have the really good high-end fiber optic internet and download and upload speeds that we had set up at the office, and so it made sense to be really close. But as we're driving into the heart of this part of the city, I ended up buying in this area specifically because my old bosses that have retired, friends, other colleagues, they all live down in this area. And although it is congested, everything that you would want is down here. And so that's basically the main reason why I chose to eventually just move back down where, basically the hot spot is. Now, where I'm at, I pretty much don't need a vehicle. I mean, there's so much traffic congestion that it's just much better to be able to take taxis, the bus, end up just basically coming down here, and we'll be able to just hop on the buses, the bus, motorbike taxis, along with like what I'm doing right now, which is I use Bolt. And so in the past I would use like Grab Taxi or Uber, but everybody's telling me that the Bolt side is much better. There's just more drivers, along with the fact that it's actually cheaper. And so I went ahead and decided to go that route. It was just a better route to go. Now this road here, as you can see, has been being worked on. It's kind of a never-ending situation. Look at how deep that hole is. But they've been working on this thing for years on and off, and there's so much flooding problems that hopefully this will once and for all resolve the problems that were currently existing, because it's just been such a headache.
แล้วว่างปะเนี่ยยุ่งหรือว่าไม่ใช่ทำข้าวได้เปล่าทำข้าวขาหมูหน่อยเดี๋ยวแวะไปเอาเนี่ยจะพานะ
Yes, center condo.